Okay, everyone, we are here with my good buddy Frank Heilmeier. Frank, you are on fire with your new mapping course, and I just want you to kind of share some of the things that been going on. I think this is 2 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago where we did this instructor program.
Right.
Um, where you were, where you are now, and then we're going to use some of the time here at the end to really give you some tips so you can just go even faster with your mission here.
The mission is going really fast already. We started the course, 3 weeks ago? As well, Thursday, it would be 3 weeks Thursday. And I had never been a instructor for real estate or pretty much anything. I did a little instructing in the military when I was in the Army. But as far as what I'm doing now, it's all brand new to me. All the technology is new to me. Before two nights ago, I had never used PowerPoint before, and I sat up all night in the hotel room when I went to go teach my first course, and I got all my PowerPoint presentation put together, and that was after I just completed the outline, which the outline took quite a while for me to do as well. But from that class, it's just been one thing after another. It's just been a ball of fire, just rolling, and I'm just so excited. I'm pumped up, fired up, and just running with it. It's like just holding on to the bull's horns and just riding it. So I'm excited where it's going. I see where it's going. I've got really good idea where it can go. And of course, with all the mentoring and help that you've given me so far, it's really got me focused, and my direction is clear. So thanks for all that, Doug.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. No, I'll never forget the moment, right? Well, we're in front of the group, and I bring you up, and then I tell everybody, you're gonna you're gonna teach about personality profiles, right? And then when you said mapping, everybody was totally glued. And at the end, one of the big brokers in the state of Tennessee handed you her card to have you
Right.
come teach, and that was the program you just did
Correct.
yesterday.
Yesterday morning, yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
So how did that go? What was it? What was the feedback like?
The feedback I've gotten so far has been fantastic. Of course, can I mention her name and the company?
Yeah,
Is that
please.
good? Okay. Yeah, her name is Bobby Noreen. She's the principal broker. The name of the company is Village, and they have multiple offices in and around Nashville. So it's a very large company. I was speaking with one of the ladies there, and they have a little over 400 agents, and I'm like, we only have 420, 450 agents in our association that are active in GSMAR. So it's a huge company, and they were having a sales meeting at one of their offices, and it was just a big honor just to be there, to be able to speak with all the agents that were there. So when I did the class, we did 1 hour in the morning where I just went over all the basics of what a map is, and how to read a map, all the different terrain features, all the colors, and how everything kind of works together on a map. And after that, we took a lunch break and came back. Then I applied all that to real estate, and we went over some scenarios that I have drawn up, probably about 8 or 10 scenarios, things that people in real estate have to deal with every day when people call in and they want to know about land. What's it look like? How steep is it? Can I build there? Can I get a septic? Can I get water, electricity? Will I have views of the mountains? There's all kinds of questions that people have about their land, and what, if they build on that land, how they can use it. So this course directly addresses questions like that, by using terrain features and not having to get in your car to drive miles out there, spending all that time, and maybe even not even finding the property that you're looking for. So this course helps them to look at and read and understand a map that's on their desk, so they don't have to spend all that time, wasted time and money and gas, going to look at land when it may not even be usable to them.
And what makes this so great, Frank, is this is the first time that you've taught, and it was a big success. And I think a lot of folks, when they get into teaching and instructing or in speaking, think they have to have years experience doing it or create the perfect course or the perfect PowerPoint with the different animations, or heaven forbid it's a Prezi,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Look, people don't care about that. They care about like three things. And here's what's going to make you successful. Should you decide to continue this path or not? Number one is you're an expert. right? There's no doubt that you're an expert in
Yeah.
mapping. You bring a level of expertise, not just in real estate, but from a previous background that really no one else can match. Not just and how you tell it is totally great too. Number two is you care. Like it's very evident to everybody that you absolutely care about them as individuals and want to be able to help, right? This isn't about Frank. This isn't about how great Frank is. This is the fact that Frank cares and wants to be able to help. So that's the second thing. And then the third, which just makes it even better, is that you are continuously learning. You are learning as you are going, right?
Right.
And so that's why we're having this call today, is because I want to continue to help you because you are eager, right?
And I'm excited about that. That just pumps me up. I got a friend of mine, he says when he gets all fired up, he used to say, that just cranks my tractor.
Yeah, right. I love it. Just a story aside, I'll never forget when I first got into this teaching side, it was Terry Watson that kind of helped me up at the beginning. And that when I had questions, Terry was there for me. He answered questions when I got stuck. Now, I didn't pay Terry. Terry didn't charge me. Terry wanted to help because I actually did the work, just like this conversation here. So I think when you get to a point, you want to give back and help. So that's why I'm so grateful.
And I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm going to do the same thing, And at the end of the class yesterday, we had five people, and they were just so into this. They wanted to do more. They want to do a land navigation course. They want me to take them out there and show them how to apply it, and that's probably something I'm going to add to it. And I think you and I had mentioned that maybe a week ago also, where this thing can go. So that will probably be part of the course eventually. But it was just so great because I had all my maps out there. I have like these 9 topographical USGS maps that are very detailed, and they're of the area that I live in. And they were able to come up and look at them, feel them, touch them, use the compass. I was showing them how to do some different things. And then I started talking about what I did in the military, doing the shooting azimuths, doing what was it called, the back azimuth, shooting directions and going from one point to another, and how to get there, how to line up your compass and follow your compass, and if you get off, how to get back on track, things like that. And they realize it's not just for real estate, but it's also great life skills. I used in the meeting that I did about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, a lady in the Smoky Mountains, her and her daughter, they were from Michigan, and somehow they got separated on the trail, and the daughter went ahead, and then the mother got lost. She was literally on a trail in the Smoky Mountains, kind of in the background here, something similar to that, up in the Great Smoky Mountains National Forest. Wow. And she literally got lost, and it took about a week. Then they finally found her about 2 miles from the trail, and she had died. She had some mapping skills, compass skills, anything that I teach, she probably would have been a little bit better off. I won't say she might have been alive, but she could have at least found her way back.
Yeah, it's interesting. We talk about the ROI, right? What's the return on investment of taking this course here, your course, and you just said it, right?
Yes, life. It's just when it all boils down to it. That's why in the military it's such a vital task to learn. You just can't, go out there. They're not going to give you a rifle and give you all that training and not know where to go and what to do. Another thing we used to do, we used to jump out of I was a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division, and we used to jump, and it wasn't what we call a Hollywood jump with a nice square canopy. It was a round canopy. We jumped not from 5,000 feet, but from 800 feet or 1,200 feet. So it's you don't spend a lot of time in the air, but at the same time they drop you at night. It wasn't always during the day, so they would drop us at night, and we'd have our gear, and part of that gear was always a map, a compass, and a protractor. And when you hit the ground, you just you got to know where to go. You got to be able to shoot your azimuth and find the rally point, and then go from point A to point B. Because in the military, if you go to the wrong place, you might get in a place you don't want to be at, and you'll be getting shot at because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. So it's good to know where you're at and where you're going.
This is so great. Well, so the fact that you've already delivered your very first course in the first month, right? Yeah. And you have referrals, right? Like people are starting to ask you, and people are coming out of the woodwork and wanting to refer you to help you because of the value here.
Right.
It's like, okay, what's next, right?
Right.
Like what does Frank need to do next to either improve the content itself of the course, Does he have to improve the way that he delivers it? Or does he have to improve the way he markets it so he's able to sell more and make more impact? Like, what would you say?
Market it, for sure. Market it. The course, it just came together so easily for me. I mean, the flow was good, the information was good. I really don't see too much that I can add to it because it's all pretty much already. It's all there. I mean, it's land navigation. I mean, there's always more to learn. You know, that's a kind of cliche in life. There's always more to learn, but in map reading, once you learn the basics, it's just a matter of applying the skills and using it. And you know, that's the biggest thing there. And that's why I want to add, you know, maybe a part in the afternoon to where we actually go out and look at terrain features, because that's the biggest part to land navigation and map reading, is learning what terrain features on a map look like out in real life. And of course,
cool.
If I took a map, I could take the picture behind me and I could probably map that if I had an aerial view, you know, and I could draw the contour lines. And most people don't know what contour lines are. And that's part of the class, is learning what they are, how to read them. And from that.
All right, let me stop you there. So let's get this puppy sold.
Yep.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna go into screen share to kind of facilitate an exercise to start to get you thinking, but then give you kind of a practical how-to so you can get this in front of the right people. And then on the second side is being able to convert these so you're actually able to book the date, you know, give a couple of different options, and do it in a way that it's easy for people to buy courses. They don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops and make this whole process easy. Is that cool?
That's cool.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go into screen share real quick, and then you're going to see just kind of what I have open right now. But I'm going to pull up my digital whiteboard so I can kind of facilitate this exercise. What do you see on your computer screen right now?
A happy face.
Cool. All right. So one of the questions I want to ask you has to do with strategic partners, right? So what you want to think about is, are there organizations or groups that if you align yourself with, sorry, I'm running out of room here, for strategic partners, what groups or organizations can you align yourselves with that would represent your ideal customer? Or that if you were to get in front of this group, they would be able to get you in front of all of their customers which share a similar kind of vision or outcome. And so I think the easiest one here is to say realtors, right?
Right.
And these could be brokers and these could be agents. But who else? Like, who else other than real estate sales would be able to benefit?
Surveyors.
Surveyors? Who else?
Organizations that teach realtors and surveyors and anybody that has anything to do with land. Mapping companies. Well, mapping companies are pretty good. But,
how about land developers?
Yeah, developers.
What about general contractors? They go out in the field too, don't they?
Yes, because anybody that's going to be looking at land, they don't, you know, of course, the first thing everybody always wants to do is go out and look at it, you know, but if they can look at it on a map, and if they understood the map, then they wouldn't have to drive out there, especially if there's no road going out there.
What about title companies? They deal with maps?
A little.
I don't know. We can keep going on and on, but I want you to kind of think about this, because even from like looking at this at a kind of like a different angle here, you have strategic partners. These would be groups, or they would be associations, right? So let's say for where you have locally, you have, or for what in real estate, we have, you know, NAR, we have Tennessee Realtors, and then we have Greater Smout. Is it GSMAR? Is that right?
Yes, GSMAR.
Cool. And then how many NAR members are there? What is it? 1.3 million.
Right. There's a lot.
And then how many Tennessee Realtors are there? Is it 26,000?
I don't know.
Yeah. And then how many GSMAR? 450?
About 600 total. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we have some people that are from outside, also from Knoxville. They're just members. They're not full-time members.
Cool. So right here, this is just, keep in mind, this is just realtors, right? You would do that same exercise to figure out what your potential market is for people who might want to take your course. Got it?
Right.
And let me ask you this, with these groups here, what ways can you get in front of these groups? So as far as marketing is considered, what's the best way to kind of sell a course?
Get in front of them.
Speaking, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this: out of these groups that we kind of looked over here, did these groups have conventions or conferences that they host on a quarterly, semi-annual, or annual basis? Yes or no?
Oh yes, definitely.
Cool. So there's speaking opportunities everywhere, right? Now let me ask you this: do they ever ask for articles or videos?
I have no idea. I imagine they will.
You've heard of Realtor Magazine, correct?
Yes.
You've heard of Riz Media, correct?
Yes.
You've heard of Inman News, correct?
Yes.
So if you have valuable content to share that you are an expert where nobody else in the country can match, there's a good chance, especially if there's something happens, time-wise where it's particularly relevant, and say somebody gets lost, they need an expert to be able to talk about not just the problem and how it evolved, but also the solution so it doesn't happen to somebody else. Right?
Right.
So with all these different things to think about, I'm going to take a step back, and if you're going to look for a database of where all these individuals were online, where would you go?
Google.
So Google, yes. An easier place to go is, let's say, what was the one we just did? How about the Urban Land Institute?
Right. That's one that I met somebody yesterday and they gave me his business card. So that's one of the things one of the people that I need to be talking with.
Okay, so this is so great. So if you go into search of LinkedIn and then put these quotation marks around, you put in Urban Land Institute. Here you go. Senior Director, HR Operations at Urban Land Institute. Now, Kate might not be your primary contact because she doesn't hire speakers, but do you think David Mulvihill is?
Mulvihill, Vice President.
He's the Vice President of Professional Development at Urban Land Institute.
Yes.
He's a guy I would call on the phone. He's a guy I would send a little note in the mail, and he's a guy I would try to connect with and stay in touch with.
Okay.
And if we keep going down here, so this is David, Vice President of Professional Development. This is Karen Dewar. I think I'm saying her name right. My apologies, Karen.
Dewar. It's Dewar.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Dewar Scotch.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe so. But she's somebody who you want to call on the telephone, send a little note in the mail, because when it gets down to it, remember if we go back to here, if we go back to this thing where we're looking at all these different organizations.
Yes.
It's not the organizations that buy, but it's the people who buy. So by developing good relationships with the people who buy, then you're able to, sell these courses, get the marketing out. It's not out of your own self-interest. It's because each one of these groups are looking for valuable content to help their members.
Right.
You're in a better position than the national experts, the terrain tutor, in order to be able to help them.
Right.
Yeah. So I would make So part of your homework assignment moving forward is to say, hey, okay, wait, which organizations? And look, you can just. I'm going to choose a different highlighter here, but you could just choose the realtor organization and probably find, I don't know, 10, 15 different groups at the national level, and then keep in mind for national, then you have a state and then you have a local, right?
Right.
For surveyors, they have a national, they have a state, and a local. For developers, they have a national, they have a state, and local. I think another one we could add in is home builders right now. So already, what we've been able to do is we've just made a customer base of about 500 people within the next year. Let's say if 10% of them all of them have a conference,
right,
or some sort of meetings that they do. If there's 500 of them, and let's say you're able to really sell in, let's say, to 10%, which is 50, you just totally own the marketplace in a very short period of time, because then out of that 50, you're gonna get repeat you're gonna get repeat business. You do a good job. It's just like if I sell one house, maybe I get 2 referrals, and that's 2, and then 2 becomes 4, and then 4 becomes 8. See where I'm going with this?
Right.
So even if you just do a good job with the 50, they're going to bring you back, or they're going to refer out to others. But then they hear through word of mouth, or they see in an article, or they see through some other channel that Frank the terrain tutor is on this mission here. I mean, you've just built kind of a, I mean, in 12 months.
Yeah.
Right? Like really in like 12 months, you've just gone from nobody knows who Frank is to Frank is like the guy.
Scary.
And what, like a month ago, you're like, I don't know what we're gonna do.
I see the potential.
Tell me what you're thinking right now, because we've just kind of like just opened up a whole new kind of marketplace, and this is just like national, right? We haven't even talked about Canada. We haven't talked about Europe,
right,
or Asia, Australia. Right. Tell me what you're thinking.
It's not mind-boggling, but it does kind of, it's a lot to think about, a lot to take in. When I was sitting up in a hot seat with the cue ball, and I was sharing my ideas with people, that's when Bobby Noreen, the broker that you mentioned earlier, she was handing me her business card before I can even get out of the chair. Said something to me that you and nobody else heard, and she said, "You'll probably never have to sell real estate again." I don't know if I like real estate, but she saw it right then, how big this can be without even knowing everything about it. And yesterday when I did the class at the course, it was like confirmation for me and to me that people are interested in this and it can be big. So yeah. Okay, that's what I'm seeing right now. That's what I'm feeling. So
it takes good leaders like Bobby Noreen to really like identify talent and say, hey,
right,
that's my guy. And there's so many more like Bobby. It's just a matter of having more opportunities like this. And the more you do, like I said, you're an expert, you care, and you're willing to learn. So that's going to make all the difference.
Yeah.
Let's go into screen. We only have a few more minutes left, but I want you to go to the screen share, because I want to help you do a couple things that kind of help you make this go a little faster for you, okay?
Okay.
So on the bottom of Zoom, when you move your mouse around, little menu at the bottom will say share. So click the share button, and then when it's you can share multiple screens. You can share your phone screen if you have that on the same network. You can share a whiteboard, but just share your desktop or share your one screen. Some people have 2 screens. You can choose what screen you want to share. Share a screen with you with like a website that you would use, like in a conversation.
Right. And that's where I would use terrain tutor. I used this quite a bit yesterday, the USGS, United States Geological Survey, because they have maps. Topographical maps, to be particular and specific.
Wait, here's something cool that you just did that I don't think a lot of people realize what you just did. I think at the very top where how you pulled up this website real quick, you have bookmarks, right?
Right, the terrain tutor, yeah.
You have a folder called the terrain tutor book. So click on that.
Yeah.
So now these are the top 3 links. You probably have more you can start to add to that, right?
Right, definitely. As time goes, I'll figure out, and the more I find, I'll put in there. Yeah, but
so let me ask you this: do you have folks who will ask you for a list of your favorite websites after class? Now, if they haven't already, they probably will.
They haven't yet. No. What they did ask me for and what I made available to them is my notes from the class, the slides that I used that has all the information.
Well, hey, man, you've only done it once, right? So it's like, right. No pressure. So you're using Firefox web browser. So what I want you to do is go into Google real quick, or I think it's inside the search bar. You can just do it. Is type in Firefox browser extension Wunderlist.
What type of extension?
Browser, like
Browser.
the browser.
Yeah. Yeah.
Extension. Yeah. There you go. Now Wunderlist is WU.
Oh,
It's okay.
no wonder I got it wrong.
Okay, click search. Sweet. Click that first one. So here's what we're going to do. Some people save these as bookmarks, but I think if you want people to visit them, you save it as a to-do, right?
Okay.
So scroll down to the bottom and click add. So a browser extension is like an app, but it's for a web browser. So if you have a lot of apps on your phone, or you have a lot of apps on your computer, we want to have the same apps on our web browser, so that oh, I guess Firefox doesn't like Wunderlist. Interesting. We might have to move to Chrome then if this is something you want to use.
Where is
Go
my
ahead and pull
Google?
the website back up. We'll keep going here.
Okay.
There you go. Click the back button. Back. One more time. Okay, type in, instead of Firefox, type in Chrome. There, and then click on that. There you go. So if you think about, instead of a bookmark, now we add it as a to-do list. So if there's 10 different websites you want people to be able to check out and actually do, Wunderlist is a quick way to be able to add this to kind of your worksheet, if you will, of websites.
So is it kind of like a folder, I guess?
Yeah, it's kind of like a folder of bookmarks, but they're set up as action items, not just like a list.
Right.
And what's great about this is you can have this stored as a PDF, or if somebody asks you after class, hey, can you send this to me? You just ask them for their email address, and you go right to your phone, and then you type it in, then you're done, and then you don't have to think, well, gosh, I forget what the websites were. I don't know where the file is located or where this might be. You can just send them a direct email to the phone. And one of the things I like about sending from the phone is they're active links that you can click on. So it'll save them even more time trying to find something.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I ought to be able to get this Wunderlist as an app on my phone.
Yeah, on your phone, on your desktop. Here's the thing. Here, this is a funny story. So this is what back in. Go ahead and hit stop share if you can. Stop screen share. So for is it the Orlando Realtor Association? They have this new member orientation they want to be able to approve. So I went through on Wunderlist and I checked all the different websites and tools they wanted to go to, and there's like 109 of these things. like 3 hours to do 109 things, or at least to be aware of them, right? So now they have this in this checklist format that's organized, so people can actually start either like say, nope, I'm not going to do that, or they can, add it to the list. And what you would think would look like it took like a whole month to be able to make, it only took a couple days. In fact, I was adding items to the list while I was kayaking.
Hope the rapids weren't too hard.
No, not in Missouri. I gotta come out to the Great Smoky Mountains for those.
It's been raining today too, so I'm sure the creeks and rivers are full right now.
Well, listen, man. It's always a blast having talking to you. I love how quick you've taken action. You've got the green screen background kicking, which is.
I actually took that picture.
What's that?
I actually took that picture.
Yeah.
I went up to one of the mountains and went and took that picture. It was kind of cloudy that day, so I was like, "This is Smoky Mountain, perfect."
And then think about this too. You can also like change your background while you're talking, right?
Yes.
So if there's like a ravine you want to pull up, or I mean, I don't know the right terminology. I need to take your class.
Yeah. It's a draw or a spur or a saddle or a ridge, a depression, and a hilltop.
You can be like the weatherman.
Well, that you're right over here. That's really kind of cool.
All right, my friend. Well, I know we're going to be chatting again soon. Wish
Okay.
you all the
Okay.
best.
Okay. So I'll at the meeting we'll be on Zoom as well.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So I'll see you here in about 10 minutes.